Hey, Opakia. Bring up my special guest host.
Hello. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
how are you?
Ah, perfect.
Yay! Dub
Yay.
Bears. Yay!
Yes. I thought it was like perfect for today. I was like, oh, I forgot I had that.
It's your nod to Chicago.
I was born and raised in Northwest Indiana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was over in Dyer, Hammond, East Chicago, that whole entire area right there. I went to Lake Central, so my life revolved around the Bulls, the Bears, the Sox, the Cubbies, all of it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that's cool.
I grew up going to Chicago a lot as a child.
Yay. It's a great city. It's changed a lot. I feel like it's gotten better through the years. It just keeps getting better.
I would hope so. I feel like as things have modernized and things have evolved, I feel like if I were to go there, I probably wouldn't recognize absolutely anything. I
No, like I live in the city. I mean, I don't live in the city. I live in one of the neighborhoods of the
Mhm.
city. And it's like I don't get downtown that often. And like every time I do, I'm noticing brand new buildings that just seem to pop up out of nowhere. It's really crazy. I used to work downtown. So I was down there every single day, which I
Oh wow.
loved. But yeah, I need to get down there more often, because I
Driving
mean,
down Lakeshore Drive. Ah,
I know there's so much going on. And
it,
sometimes I even forget that, like, number one, I'm like 20 minutes from a huge metropolitan city, and
mhm.
two, the lake. Like, I haven't gone to the lake yet this summer. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? I have this gorgeous lake that looks like the ocean. you know I need to ride
Yeah.
my bike along the lake. I need to make an
I
appointment to
I
do
wanna
that.
I really wanna I'm really considering going to the Atlas stationary sidewalk sale thing. I really am considering. I'm waiting to see if my son will get back. If he gets back, because I can't leave my little one by himself. If I can get him back by this week or next week, I'm gonna be going. I just
Oh
need
my
my son
god.
here first so that he can watch my little guy. But that's I'm hoping.
Oh my God, that would be amazing because we're planning some get-togethers and stuff. So
I mean,
please
worst case
let me.
scenario, I said, well, if anything, I could always just take my kids and drive, rent a car and just drive up there. That'll be
Right,
fun road trip.
that'd
But
be amazing.
it would, and my kids really want to go and see where they were born at. They weren't raised there; they were raised in Puerto Rico, but they were born there. So I think that would be fun. I think that would be.
Cool.
Fun. I really want to go to that fest. I really want to go. Like,
Yeah, I've never been, and I guess I didn't realize that it's basically like a stationary fest. Like, it's a big deal.
outdoor,
Like,
outdoor, right?
so I can't wait.
Yeah,
And
um when when I saw it, because I think what did I forgot Chinatown Chi-Town Panda or something like that.
yes, yes,
Yeah, he told me
Ryan.
about it. He's like, you
Oh,
need to come and you need to bring Marsh. And I was like, let me think about it. Because I was on my way to Puerto Rico, remember?
uh-huh.
So they had announced all of that was going to be going on. And I was like, ooh, I really want to go.
Cool. Well, yeah, let me know because we will add you to our list of, like our little email list or our chat list so that we can all meet up at one point or another.
Mhm. and
Um,
and I want to see if I can find like an Airbnb, nearby where I can just Uber
oh yeah,
and
there's plenty of places.
have.
Plenty. So how are
I'm
you?
well, I'm good. I'm trying to get back into rhythm
Uh-huh.
after I was out there for like a month and a half almost. My kid is going nuts. He's like, Mom, you left me out here and said I'm going to be here 2.5 months. Like, dude, I don't know what it is. They were raised there, but they don't like it.
Oh,
They
interesting.
do not like it. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get back into the rhythm of things. I've been just doing all my orders that were backed up. I had over 100 orders in the system, so I've been
Cool.
I've been packing like crazy and just work because I need to get back into the influential world over there, but I haven't wanted to because I don't have my assistant. My son is my partner, so I'm kind of
Oh,
just I'm going slow. So I don't want to put promotion out there and then I'm like
and then
I
get
can't
inundated.
put out
Yeah. Is
fast
it, are
enough.
you talking about your book?
No, my website. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, if you could see that, I have my own brand of nail products. So
Oh,
that's
that's right. That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
that's so we're working on that. We're working on that.
Cool. Well, we had a great weekend, and that was fun. We talked about it all day yesterday, or all during the show yesterday. I had Jason and Jen with me, and still, I don't know, show something, a couple things that I got. Oh, I hope it's like right here. Oh, okay, cool. Um, I didn't get much because I keep telling everyone, I have so much stuff. I kind of have to start using it before I start getting more of it. It's like I'm just like don't want to get too I mean, I think it's basically like I want to use my stuff, so it's like either use your stuff and then you can get some more stuff. But anyway, I got these really cool elephant stickers,
Oh, those are cute.
and then I have
Are they
some washi that
holographic? Wait a minute. Are they holographic?
I don't, are they? Yeah, kind of. They're sort of like gold and have like
Oh, it's
shininess
like a
to
gold
them.
foil. How cute is that?
Well, now where the heck is that washi that I bought? I bought like some coordinating washi. Well, anyway, oh yeah, so I got that, and then Jen gave me this because I'm a Charlie Brown freak.
Me too. You should see all the Charlie Brown stuff I have. I'm moving my bookshelves from my room to this area where I'm at, and I have so much Snoopy stuff. It's insane. My kids' rooms were all baby Snoopy.
Oh
I
wow.
yeah, I bought when my son was about to be born, it was like there was a lot of baby Snoopy stuff, and I bought it all, everything. Like me and my mother-in-law went crazy buying everything, and we had like the stickers that go on the walls, and like just everything was a matching.
This is a great story. There were these people who had this house and they were going to um, paint their kids' room or one of the bedrooms. And then so they stripped the paint off, and there was this huge Charlie Brown, all the characters, a mural on the wall. And it turned out that that house had you, Charles Schultz, who he lived at that house and he had painted that for his kids. And so here they are with this like Charles Schultz original, and eventually they like cut out the wall
I would have
and
too.
it's like on display at the Charles Schultz Museum in Santa somewhere in I can't remember where he's from or where he lived in California, but it's there and I've seen
Oh,
it. It's super cool.
cool.
But can you
Oh,
imagine uncovering that?
could you? Oh my God. If I would have bought that house, I would have been like, I'll never leave. Y'all are going to have to peel me off the floor when I die.
I know, I know. And like, I don't know whether or not they knew that it had been Charles Schultz's house or not, but regardless, I mean, so cool. But yeah, I've always been. Oh, here it is. Here is the washi. Oh, let's compare. So I have these guys and then this washi that I
Oh,
thought
that
went with
matches
it really well.
perfect. How gorgeous.
Yeah, so I'm saving these for a special spread. But yeah, I've always loved Charles Schultz. When I was little, I had this big Peanuts, and I still have it, big Peanuts treasury with all of the cartoons in it and stuff. And I would just sit and read that I mean, I read that from when I was a little kid all the way up into my teen years. I
Yeah.
just loved it so much. And so he's been a huge inspiration, and I've always loved Charles
Yeah, I know.
Schultz so much.
I love how innocent the cartoon was. Like that innocence and that like just the whole way that it was put together. The creativity, the mischievousness, but it was always so innocent. I absolutely adore it. It gave me so much joy and it still does. I still watch like during Thanksgiving, I'll
Oh
watch
yeah.
Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, the Christmas, everything. I
I love the
absolutely
Halloween
love
one.
it.
That's my
Yeah,
favorite is
the
the
Great
Halloween
Pumpkin.
one. I know. It's just so good. It's so good. But yeah. So things are going good over here. I'm just doing my thing and designing stickers, designing some more. I'm working on my Patreon, which I'm going to start in August. And just doing my stuff.
I'm
So I'm
excited to
getting
get my stickers from you. I saw the tracking number. I was like, yay!
you like totally bought the entire thing. Like you bought the whole
I
deal.
I told you that when I came back, I was gonna like dive in. I just had to get everything organized and like kind of organize myself. And I made the jump. I bought a Paper Republic. I did it.
Ooh. Oh
I'm
my
excited.
gosh.
I'm excited.
Well, I sent them out yesterday, so they should be to you soon.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I rated the whole store. And then when I saw that you were going on Shopify, I was like, yes,
I
he's
know I
coming to the
love
dark side.
Shopify. Oh my God, why was I not going to Shopify? I'm like, it just does everything for you. You can print the labels, you can do the whole nine
Everything.
yards. I'm like,
Everything.
oh,
And wait, I have the in on the FB live sales. I'm excited about that. I'm
right.
super excited about that. I think we had talked about the last time on the Not What where you could like go ahead and do live sales and stuff like that and make it like a side hustle out of that and even your business. Well,
Yeah.
I guess because the FB used to do that, they took it away. And then now with the whole rave about Not What and like and even on here on TikTok and everything, the Book of Faces was like, we need to go back to that. So now they're collabing with Shopify.
Oh, good.
They're collabing with Shopify so that you can go on the Book of Faces live and it'll pop up so people can do the same thing that they do
Oh, so like
on.
you can pretend you're a QVC show?
Yes. I'm
That would be
excited
so
about
much
that.
fun. I've always wanted
I'm
to do
excited
that.
about it. I don't do like my customers are like, why don't you do Book of Faces live? I'm like, because you people give me too much work. Y'all spam the comments because you'll be like, okay, so this will be claim one, like claim with the number one, and then you'll see like a spam of ones. And how are you supposed to write all that down? I'm just like, I did it one time for a Black Friday sale and I never did it again.
Oh wow.
I was 12 hours live.
That's funny because like one time on the Book of Faces, we were selling when we were clearing out our basement, we were selling things, like this and that and blah blah blah. And oh my God, I'm like, do you people really want my stupid plastic shelves? It's like there were hundreds and hundreds of people every time I looked. It was like ding, 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 ding. So it was interrupting me all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have to like try and say, okay, well, who was the next person that wanted them? And, and so it was like, it became like a full-time job just for these stupid plastic shelves. And I'm like to Jason, I go, why don't we put it out into the easiest kind of FB marketplace called The Alley and just let someone come and get them on their own,
Right?
like,
Yeah,
who cares? It was so funny. I couldn't believe and then people get mean and oh my God. I was like, you guys,
hard.
these are stupid shelves.
Yeah.
Stupid shelves.
Yeah, I would
Not
get
even
people mad at me because something would sell out and they'd be like, I claimed before her. I'm like, guys, it shows up on my end completely different from you guys. The way that you see the comments on the screen is not how I see the comments on the screen. People were fighting with I was like, this is it. I'm not.
I know there are some things like, where it's kind of like one year. Oh, you're Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. One time
Oh,
I walked in the
I'm
gay pride parade in Chicago, and we had all the beads that we were giving out to people, and it was like, so do you ever wonder why they just throw the stuff at
mm,
people? Because if you, like me, who didn't really know what he was doing, walk up to the people to hand them the beads, they grab you and they're like, it's like pulling on them. And I was just like, oh my God. They're like hungry vultures for these stupid beads. It just cracked me up. So yeah, so that's my tutorial on what to do if you're ever walking in a parade. But anyway, you're frozen. Can you still hear me?
no, can you hear? No, it's Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I can hear you,
No,
but
no,
you're like
hold on.
you're doing this. There you are. uh, oh, technology. Maybe I should go upstairs. I could. I'm going to
Okay.
try that. I'm going to go upstairs because that'll probably be better. Sometimes it's me.
Oh, okay.
Whoops. Now I'm going to end up dropping. I'll be dropping you on the floor, and that won't be good either. Okay, guys, we're going to go upstairs. Come on, doggies. They'll be happy to go upstairs anyway. Come on, let's go. We're going to go upstairs. I've got my team of dogs. These two guys, they're so cute. All right, up, up we go. Come on, boys. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, are you moving now? Your live heating is heating up. Okay, this should do it. Hey, why don't you come back? Like go off and then come back and see what happens. Yeah. All right, I'm going to disconnect and then connect again. Okay, let's see. All right, let's start this again. We got 20 people here. Do the likes. Like this so we can get more than 218. Oh my gosh. I hope she comes back. So anywho, while we're waiting for her to come back, my 65 to 65 is going along. I still need a lot of people to go into my little store. Just go to the link in my bio and it's in there. I'm trying to get 65 orders by 65th birthday at the end of the week. Let's see if I can get her in here. Hang on, y'all, people. Technology, huh? All right. Sorry, guys. Wait a minute. Looks like she left and is going to be signing out again. So she's probably dealing with her Wi-Fi. So I've been using my traveler size, and I'm kind of making my own planner pages in here based on the Wonderland. And I've also been just like playing around with my printables too. And the one that I'm releasing this week is, got to keep an eye on this, is my monthly one. So there's like a monthly fold out, and I attached it to. So we got a monthly fold out, and then you can like create like, what I did here was I created a whole bunch of them so that if I want, I can just be like focusing on the monthly sections, but they fold in. And then you can also just have the one out. So when you're working, you can have your month at a glance. So I'm going to be putting those into my shop today, not to either sometime by the end of the week. And I'll let you guys know. Is she back in here? Let's see. Yay, all you guys. And thank you guys for those who have purchased and gone to my store. I really appreciate it. I sent out a whole bunch of orders. Got some more that came in today, so it's very exciting for me. I love this whole sticker thing, and I really want it to continue. And eventually I'll have a whole bunch of printables available. And so, you can add those to your planner, and I'm designing them specifically for the different sizes. Oh, I know, Hibby Jibby. That's like, because I have like it's not a traveler's specific notebook. It's like a generic one, and it doesn't take fountain pen ink at all. There she is. She's back. But I'm going to be using the Wonderland W1, which is the TN size, and their paper, and they're going to be using really good paper this time. I think it's a version of the Tomoe River paper. I'm not exactly sure, but that's the planner that will be in my Travelers. Boy, the guest will be back soon. So anyway, that's what's going on. And it's a beautiful day in Chicago. I've got to go water my garden when I am done with our show. And, I got to go and invite her again. There we go.
There we go.
Oh,
I had to come outside.
We both went outside.
I had to. The service. I just got a text message. The internet went out. I was like,
okay.
No timing. So I don't have internet in my house. I was like, okay, well, guess we're gonna go outside.
Yeah. I'd go outside, but then if I went outside, my internet wouldn't be that good. So my kitchen, the hub of the house, works really well. So that's where I am right now. So anywho, so what else has been going on? I mean, how is your journaling going? I know you've been doing like your art journaling.
I literally have been watercoloring my day, drawing my days, those special moments that I'm with my kids, and that like yesterday we went to this dumpling place and I was like, ooh, this is so cool. Like I want to sit here and watercolor. So I'll pop out the watercolor and just, it's in a sense, I'm recording what happened without writing it down. And that's what I love about it. Because have you ever noticed that like at some point your phone gets full of pictures?
Yes.
You have to erase them. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't keep them. So even if you download them into a cloud and stuff like that, I don't know, I guess it hits different when you paint it into a journal and you have it there and you go back and flip through it and it resonates more.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the difference between going click and sitting there with it and observing it and looking at it and deciding how you want to replicate it. And, and sometimes,
Yeah.
like, I know Ray, who's one of my favorite content
Oh,
creators,
I love Ray.
he's in Las Vegas. He does it on receipts now, which is such a cool thing. So he has like in his little journal, he's got like the picture of the receipt and then the food. I mean, to me, that is really great.
So I was thinking, because I was thinking about maybe doing something similar, but with watercolor pencils. Like you actually sketch it out with a pencil first and then put the
Yes.
water. I'm thinking that would be a better choice than the actual paint itself,
Hmm.
just because you can actually capture more of an essence with the color pencil on that paper because that paper is that thermal paper, so it's got like that shiny, like I don't know,
Yeah.
it just does, you can't even write on it well because it just
Right,
doesn't.
right. It's interesting though, because it's like to see what watercolor works on. It works really well on the Hobonichi paper, the Tomoe River paper. I need to, I've been so bad because I have been neglecting Cynthia, my creative journal, which is an A5 cousin, and God, I just have to go back in there. I think what I'm going to do is just start going through the pages and just splashing watercolor all over the place
Yeah, I
because
mean,
I love doing like sunsets and skyscapes and stuff. And so I just want to like
oh,
go
that's so
nuts.
exciting for me. I love doing landscapes. And the here's the thing with watercolor that I like better than say acrylic paint or oils or pastels is the fact that when you actually combine the colors together, they magically form into something else.
Right.
It's not the same that you acrylic doesn't move. Once you put
No,
acrylic that you have to move it. But watercolor paints, they move themselves,
I
and when
know.
you
It's like,
like dancing, oh, it just
yeah,
it hits different. It hits
I
different.
always say that when you're painting with watercolor, you're kind of, it's like a duet, because it's doing its thing and you are, you may see something happening and you quickly go grab like a paper towel to douse it down, or you just go, oh, oh my God, look what this turned into. Like I did this painting is like one of my favorite ones that I ended up turning upside down because it looked better upside down.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it just like I put this paint on there and I just sort of let it do its thing. And it literally turned into like, because the painting is like of, a view of the Lake Michigan with the storm
Uh-huh.
coming in. And like it totally like painted the grassy, hill, like the grass and the sand, And I was just like, this is so cool. And I just love to do it. I just love seeing what it's going to do, especially with skyscapes. And then like just saturate it with paint and then take a cotton ball or a paper towel and make the clouds. I mean, some of the stuff is so simple,
I
and
love
it's like, but it's so satisfying. And it always ends up looking so good. So much fun.
when people are scared of it, they really are because they feel like they can't control it. And watercolor is not meant to control. You have to let it, it's a living being. So you have to let it flow because it's water. You're working with an actual living being.
Yeah.
So you have to allow it to do its thing. You simply guide it, but you allow it to make its own art. Like it's so cool. And for me, landscapes. I love landscapes. I love painting out in nature. Don't get me wrong, I like to do like the buildings and stuff like that. I'm not good at perspective. So for me, like I have to do the front face of the building because if I angle it, I'm horrible at perspective.
Right.
Like my vanishing points are not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, there's something about I know I like I spent a couple summers ago we were redoing our house and so our dog couldn't be here while the workers are all here. So I would go away for the week. So I'd go away from Monday through Thursday and I would go to these like either to a Airbnbs or I went to this place called Getaway which had these little like those sort of like container cabins, that they're made out of a container
Yeah,
and they were
yeah, yeah.
beautiful, really well done. And so I would
Oh,
be out in nature and I was painting and just doing so much. And I just loved like doing trees, and I love doing moons with a beautiful sky. And it, because you realize, there's so many more colors than you think there really are. And then even when you're bringing in shades that you're not necessarily seeing in front of you, it just
Yeah.
keeps adding to it. I mean, it's like a what you see in, and then you get to decide how you want to convey it. And then sometimes the painting doesn't look anything like what you did, but you're sitting there being emotionally affected by where you are, and then you're
Capturing the
just like
essence.
getting ideas and you're painting, and
Yeah.
it really becomes its own thing, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me because they say that when you're doing urban sketching, a lot of people struggle with it because they can't focus because there's like so much going on. And so like they want to paint everything. I don't know why, but from the beginning, I managed to like paint without the people, without the massive crowds, without like, then that's difficult to do because with all the people walking and somehow it's like you put a filter where none of that exists and you're painting focused on what it is. And that I say with because like I have hyper focusing and hyper fixation on things, I think that's why I'm able to drown out the noise and actually see the subject that I'm painting with
Uh-huh.
no issue whatsoever.
Right. I had a friend who took a class, and she told me about a technique which I have to try, but it's really cool. So, like, say you drawing something from a photograph. What you do at first is you take the photo and you blur it so that you're just seeing a color and like a blob, and so you can very easily replicate that. And then
Yeah.
what you can do is then do the next picture, maybe not as blurry, until you have the sharp picture. And so you're sort of using those various levels of those pictures with, as your guide. And I think that's such a great idea, you know?
Good way to learn. It's a good way to learn, and that's why I always say like watercolor and any type of painting. It's not hard if you think about it as like. Do you remember the those pictures that if you looked up close, you would see a bunch of little dots or a bunch of little patterns, but then when you moved back, you could see like the whole entire image. It's
Yeah.
pixelated in a sense. You pixelate the picture. Same thing with painting. Like you got to pixelate what you're looking at and break it down into like a smaller element of like, okay, this is where the shade is at, this is where the light is at. And when you break it down, it's just a bunch of dots of paint.
Right. And you also have to trust yourself, because I also was talking with another artist once, and I said something like, "Oh, I'm really bad at drawing people." And she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I just, the proportions." She goes, "You see people every single day. Like, take a moment and just sit with yourself and go, what does a person look like? What is the, and you can totally like, it's like, what it looks like. You know what the arms look like. You know what it looks like." And I think if you do it that way sometimes, because like I love to just like, because I have more of a, like a cartoony kind of style and stuff. And a lot of times I just take the time to like figure out, and I like to make it super loose. And a lot of times I look at the quick sketches I did, what if I'm laying out my comic strip and I just do like quick sketches, those end up being more interesting than the final drawing where I'm making it
Yeah.
not
Oh
perfect,
yeah.
but you know what I
It
mean.
has movement. It has the sketch has movement because you're making these lines to like, okay, here's the oval of the face and here's the eyes, and you start to like draw multiple lines to get to where you want, and you naturally create the shadow, you naturally create movement. And that is one of the biggest things that I love about sketching. People are like, oh, it's so hard to draw. It's not. It's basic shapes. Like we got to go back to kindergarten. A dog, what does it
Exactly.
have? Ears, they're triangles. Some dogs have a triangular face, others have like a box face. If you look at if you start like, you draw the basic elements out first and then attach all the rest of the lines, there's your image. Like there's your
Yeah.
dog or there's your cat. It's so easy when you break it down to your
Yeah.
basic. You got to go back to the basics to then progress to the more elaborate stuff.
Yeah. I have a theory too, like about, you know, um, there's a point in a child's life where they might hear someone go, "Oh, that's not good. That doesn't look right." And it's a lot of times that'll be the last time they ever pick up a crayon
So
or
sad.
whatever. And I'm
So
like, you
sad.
got to go back if you want to be an artist, like go back and finger paint. Like start from the basics that you learned like in
Abstract.
kindergarten and just
Abstract.
make a mess. Like just because you have to learn how to you have to like get to know the mediums, and you got to get to know what can paint do, what can paint not do, or what
Yeah.
if you're doing it wrong, like you were told, what's actually happening in front of you, because you're wrong might be a right way to do it, because there's so many different ways you can do it. There are people who throw paint down on a canvas and they get down and they roll around in it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
every single way to do anything. And like when I'm done doing my hands are always covered in paint because I'm splotching my hands down in it and I'm doing
I love
stuff,
it.
you
I love
know.
it. It's just a way to express your feelings, your emotions. It's a way to like decompress. There's so many aspects to art that people don't understand how therapeutic. I feel like an art session is better than going to like a psychologist.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because you actually get to express yourself exactly how you're feeling, and you get to play around with colors, and you get to find who you are just through your art.
Right.
Cover your style. What do you like? What don't you like? I'm not a big fan of like acrylic paint. I'll do it, but I'm not a big fan of it. I love watercolor.
Yeah.
Um, but for me, it to journal through art is one of those things where I say you have to try it. You can't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm bad at it," or "Oh, I
Right.
can't do it." You can.
Yeah.
It's doable. It's possible.
And it's in a very emotional thing, because that you're not even realizing it is emotional. I always talk about how the simple miracle of writing, the fact that we know how to write words and can convey, we can literally turn our thoughts into something that is on paper. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing with paint. You can just like, and at any level, I look at like kindergartners paintings and I'm blown away by some of it, because I can
Mhm.
tell how their brain is working, and their innocence and simplicity of what they're drawing, or what they're painting.
Yeah.
Even kids who just do blobs on the wall, like or it's such an interesting thing. And then when you see, and also two different people who, like, you see like a child with autism who's painting, and there's this one guy on TikTok who's autistic,
What
and
you're talking about.
it's like I always say there isn't much of a difference between autistic and artistic,
Yeah.
and it's like this kid is
True.
painting these animals and they are
Yeah. It's the same one.
incredible.
Same one I'm
I'm
thinking
like,
of.
oh
Yeah.
my
I've seen it.
God. It's just genius work. And so it's like,
Yeah.
and why? Well, because there's his way of seeing things and interpreting things is completely different and unique
Yeah.
to him. And he's
Mm-hmm.
let go of a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of rules he's not even aware of. He takes his crayon, he uses crayons or like wax markers or whatever, and he
Yeah.
holds them like this when he's drawing. So
It's
he's just
crazy.
doing it the way he wants to do it. And it ends up just being incredible work. So I love that.
Yeah. No.
Absolutely
And
love that.
that's what I say. Like right there, always been envious of people who can draw. Mine looked like a 5-year-old did. My art was not what it is now. Like I've always drawn very kidsy, like or like a kid would draw, and I'm okay with that. I think it's beautiful. It's what makes me happy. Now I know that people can like sketch out a whole building, but my houses look like little box with a little triangle with the little and like that's just what it is, and I'm okay with that because at the end of the day, art has no rules. Art is something so similar to journaling. You're just not expressing yourself with words per se, but there's
Yeah.
no rules. And that's what I love about it is like You can do whatever, and you could put a blob on a piece of paper and say that's your dog, and nobody can tell you otherwise. That's
I
your
know.
dog.
And it's also too like another thing that's cool is like sometimes when you paint something, like I used to have this feeling like, oh God, I hope that I am like especially with my comic strip, I hope that I'm conveying this correctly,
Right.
and are they seeing what I'm seeing? And I've been to like art shows where maybe the artist is a friend of mine or something, and I said, oh my God, this piece, I can totally see the city. And he's like, oh, it's not, I didn't paint it to be that, but I'm seeing it like that. So what's cool about it is that he'll do something and give it to the world. And then when I look at it, I get to add my own thoughts. So in other words, it's almost kind of like now we are collaborating on this piece
Yeah.
because he put it out there as to what it is to him. And, I can look at it as, whatever I want it to be. It's almost kind of like the Beatles. They used to write really weird songs. Like one of their weirdest ones is called I Am the Walrus. And so many people were spending hours and hours and hours trying to interpret the song. And they were laughing because they just made a bunch of crap up that it had nothing to do. A lot of these little sayings that are in that song were like childhood, like Red Rover, let so-and-so over, and those kind of childhood playground rhymes and things that you would say. And so they just strung it all together, and they just thought it was so funny that people were taking the time to interpret it. But think about how did that song, how it, how people interpreted it and how it affected them, is a whole different thing. And that's what's so cool about it.
There's just certain times when it's not that deep. It really isn't. Like some people want to dissect it to like the deepest, and sometimes it's just not. It's just it is what it is. Like it might be a silly song, it might be a silly drawing, and that's all it is. There's no interpretation of like it going so deep where we have to dissect it down. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at it and let it do whatever it does to you. And but sometimes I look at like modern art and it's like there's just like a big black square on a canvas, and so I'm just kind of like, okay, sometimes I'm thinking, what? And this is like $1 million painting.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes.
That's why I jokingly say, like, I'm holding $1 million painting. I painted it. It's $1 million. Why? Because I gave it value. And so, it makes me a millionaire. Oh, I want to show you guys something. I hope my internet stays. Let's try it and see. I want to show you my tiny art museum journal.
Oh, okay, cool. Absolutely.
Hopefully I won't lose connection. Let's see. Let's cross our fingers. Let's see.
Bring it outside.
Okay, I think I'm still on. Okay, cool. So these journals are journals that I got from the small business expo that they do. So it's free. So it's welcome to my tiny art museum. And then I went into writing like a little bit about me. And it's an avid friends lover, peanut enthusiast, and watercolor painter. Copy and sketching along with creation of things, business. Behold the wonders of Jess's $1 million paintings. So of course I did the whole little friends and peanuts. But I took washi tape and made the frame.
And those are all little paintings that you did?
And so we have the flower room. Yeah, these are all the little tutorials that I do.
I love
for
those
everybody.
pink trees and flowers. That's so cool.
The cherry blossoms, tutorial on that one. I did the tutorial on this one. I did the tutorial on this one and this one. So what I'm doing is all the tutorials that I do for you guys are going into my tiny art museum. And so I'm basically
That's great. I love doing tiny little pieces.
Journaling.
That's amazing.
I love it. And so we did an art class. The other day, Hibby and Anna. And this is what we did. We did a cat. Inside though, 'cause I'm freezing up.
Yeah, let's get outside.
Yeah, no, the service in there
There
is
we go.
horrible. Oh my goodness. But I figured why not? Why not junk journal? Because I do junk journal with my tiny art, but I was like, oh my God, a tiny art museum. How cool.
I know, I
I was
love
like,
that
this would be
idea.
perfect.
There's a guy who has
Yeah, so all the tutorials that I do are going in there.
there's a guy who has like one of those like library boxes in front of his house, but he's turned it into an art museum and it's got like windows all around it. And he has like the artists come in and he has like these little rooms and they take their art, whether it actually has been drawn that little or he has them shrink it down and he puts it through the little, like an art museum that you can like look through and follow with all the different paintings. And I'm
Oh,
like, that is the coolest thing. Like,
that is a really cool idea to make kind of like a storefront or a dollhouse. Take a dollhouse and revamp it so you could put like little tiny art like museum
yeah,
and stuff like that would be cool. Like, see, those are the kind of things that I enjoy. And
yeah,
like it to me it's like you're journaling your feelings, you're journaling your moments, you're journaling exactly that precise event in the moment. I pictures, yeah, they you could take a picture, but does the picture really capture the essence? Like what you're seeing, how you're feeling. It's just a whole nother type of journaling. I've seen so many people like start to integrate the watercolor and they'll write me and be like, oh, thanks for inspiring me to like, start a watercolor journal. I have this huge artist on my TikTok. I love him. He does amazing landscapes of like the Chesapeake Bay. And he gets excited every time I go in his lives. And he's like, oh, Jess, like, I see your art and your journaling, and this is the way that I journal. This is how I journal. It's not in a book like yours, but this is my journaling. He gets so excited. It's so cute.
yeah.
I was like, aw, I'm glad I can
You're right.
inspire people to
I know. I
venture
have
out.
found that through my life, because I've done so many different things. Like I've worked with actors, and that was a lonely place because it you sort of when you're in a play, everyone becomes best friends and you become a family, and then as soon as the play is over, boom,
Right.
it's over. They're never going to talk to you again, except for maybe sometimes you might be able to meet some people. Like I have just a handful of people through my career as an actor and doing theater that I'm still in touch with, you know. But then in the art world, those people, it's such a completely different world.
Yeah.
And then going into the stationery and the journaling planner world, these are people who now you're not just working with artists. You're not just working with you're working with artists, business people, moms, family members, kids. You're working with you're communicating and in a community with people that are all doing all sorts of different things, but we all come together for journaling. And we all
Yeah.
do it differently, and everyone is really. I always feel like everyone's really excited that they've found these other people that do the same thing that they
Yeah.
do, because like journaling and stuff. I've always had so many people who are just like, oh, look at you, you know, or oh, you're so organized, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I always call it the illusion of organization, and and so then so you sort of feel a little. I always felt like very alone. Like be in a cafe and I'd be writing or something, and I'd look around and I'm like, geez, I'm like the only person who's doing this, you know.
Yeah.
And so then stumbling into this community, it's just been like so amazing because everyone is different, everyone does it differently, and so there's
I think,
no right or wrong. Like whatever you're doing is what you're doing. And I think that the one of the best things people do is they share it and they talk
yeah.
about it.
This community's taught me a lot. First of all, I never journaled in public. Like I always journaled at home. Ever since I was a young girl, my journaling was always done in my room. Remember the Dear Diaries, and you put the little lock on it, and you only journaled or you wrote in your diary like closer to the nighttime when you were about to go to bed, and you'd be like, "Dear Diary, today." Joey asked me out, and it was not the person I wanted to ask me out because I like this person. You know, like those moments where you would express yourself in such a different manner than what it is today, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like this community has brought me out of my box to journal out in the wild and to like actually sit down at a cafe, bust out my journal and write and express myself and drink my coffee and be able to
I
like
know. God, I love it.
understand that it's okay that I'm doing that out in the open and I have no reason to care if anybody says or thinks anything, you
Right.
know?
And besides, what you may not even realize what you're doing is someone might just glance over at you and go, "Ooh, that's cool. Like, I want to try that."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because
I got both of my kids into journaling. My two older boys, I I gave my oldest one a journal. I said, "You need this in your life. You need to start organizing your thoughts, make this your thought management system and run with it." And oh, Leanne, and he's loving it. He's absolutely loving it. And I knew he would because he has like my style of brain. My other one, my second oldest, he's journaling his fantasies. Like he loves anime and all the fantasy world and the oracle spiritual type of stuff. Like he's very into that. So he's using his journaling for that. And then my little guy, he does comic books inside blank journals.
oh my God, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, that's just like it's just such a great thing. Like no one, the only other person in my family who does this is my sister Karen, and I don't think she does it that much. And she used to like do scrapbooking, which is this thing. It's what,
Yeah.
anything that's a book that you do stuff
It's
with.
junk journaling
It's a
now, but in
journal.
our days it was scrapbooking.
If my mom had her Betty Crocker cookbook, that one that has the rings, and that everyone has had,
Oh yeah, the plaid
and
one, the red plaid one.
yeah. And so like after my mom died, my sister took it, and because you'd look through it, and on this page, you'd handed to your mom your little certificate that had stars on it because you did a good job that day, and she just stuffed it in there. And so my sister was going through it, and she found so many artifacts, and my mom scribbling notes in it, writing things in it. So that
Yeah.
almost sort of became a journal for her. And my
Yeah.
sister did the same thing. So my sister has this really cool book, and every time I'm over at her place, I'm like, "Oh, can I see it? Can I see it?" Because I love her handwriting. Her handwriting totally inspired me in the way I do my handwriting. She writes stories. She takes notes of things, and I mean, it's literally she didn't even realize she's created a commonplace journal. And I love it so much. And I get to have that. If you go before I do, I want to have that.
That's
So
so
she's
cool.
willed it to
I don't
me.
know anybody in my family that journals. I'm like the only one. And it's like I told my kids, this is gonna be my voice when I'm no longer here. This
Yeah.
is how you're gonna be able to connect with me and hear me until your days are gone. So just remember that, you know? And so I told my kids I want to gift each one of them their own journals where I write them letters. Like, just things that we did that day or adventures that we went on and just write them a letter, and in that journal gift it to them, hey, if I die, this is where it's at. This one's yours, this one's your brother's, and this one's and
That's
just keep that.
amazing. God, can you
I
imagine
want
if our parents did something like that? How
I would love
amazing that would be. Like the closest thing I have to that is my grandmother's photo albums. She wrote captions. And some of
yeah.
them are just like, this is who this is, or other times she's talking about the event, and like there was like, so, and then on my other grandma's side, I have her photo album from her college years, which is in the 1920s, which is just
Wow.
so cool. And apparently she went to St. Olaf College up in Minnesota, and that's where she met my grandpa. And there was like this historic tornado that happened up in St. Olaf. And
Yeah.
I looked it up and it was in the newspaper. And I think one day, yeah, I was just wanted to look at old pictures of tornadoes and stuff. And there was just an article, there was no photograph. And it happened in 1920, blah, 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 in St. Olaf. And so I'm looking through my grandma's photo album, and there is a photograph of the tornado with the St.
Oh
Olaf
my God.
tornado. And I was like, oh my God. And I almost
The
want to
article?
contact whoever wrote that article and say, hey, listen, I've got a photograph, of that tornado. And it's the
Yeah.
coolest picture. Like,
You could even like upload to the internet, and kind of write your own blog.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's an that's a whole that's a whole niche of like being able to write the the blogs kind of like your own newspaper article with stuff that like your grandparents or your parents were able to see with like photos and all kinds of stuff that probably doesn't even exist in the
Right.
online world.
Yeah, I have a
So that
Tumblr account that is like it's like my mom's side of the family were Walladum, and then on my dad's side, Dorn. And so it's called Walladorn, and it's about my family's, genealogy and history and certain events and things that happened. Like there's an article in the newspaper from the 1930s or early 40s, I believe. My great uncle Andrew, they had a dog that they couldn't keep, and so they took him to a farm outside of Chicago, in a small town. And then on Christmas Eve, they heard scratching at the door, and the dog had found his way home. And it ended up being an article in the newspaper.
Aw.
And so
Aw.
I was just like, this is so cool. So I have that article in there and another, because the good thing is that because the last name was Walladum, it was really easy to word search that and find articles about my relatives. There's like another article about how they were in a car crash. And I just like, this is so cool that I can find these things,
Yeah.
And I love
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
that my uncle had done a family tree book. I don't know what he did with it because I didn't. I was only told about the legend of this supposed family tree that he had made. Um, but he went back into like from where like our families are from and like the bloodlines of um I think my grandpa or my grandma how they had German in there and Spanish and Asian. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, so I got that look. It's like if I send my DNA to that 21andMe or whatever it's called, I would come back
Yeah.
as a mutt,
Oh,
basically.
yeah. And I come
There's
back
like
as
no
a
one link.
translucent, I come back as a translucent European. Like, there's no like ethnic, the most ethnic blood that's in my family is Gypsy, and that's it.
Ooh,
But which is kind of
okay.
cool.
That's
Yeah, that's
yeah.
where I always say that's where all our music influence comes from. Because like my grandma played the zither and was a singer, and my grandpa played harmonica and would sing, and my dad always had a really good singing voice. So I mean, I know that's
Oh,
probably not true, but I just like to fantasize and think that that's when because back in we were, you know, strolling
traveling and
minstrels, like so. Like, we have any questions in
oh,
here?
that's so
It says we are discussing the
that
magic
kind of
of
stuff.
watercolor painting.
What happened?
I'm looking at,
Oh,
how they do the AI explanation of what
did you see what they're
we're doing. It says we're discussing the magic of watercolor painting and letting the medium guide the art. That's cool. That's exactly
Did
what
you
we
see
were
what they're
talking
doing with
about.
the videos now? The
Leanne's
videos
Leanne
they're
says
doing
that
on the video.
they're what?
They're doing AI descriptions on the videos too now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you
Which I
post a
think is
video
really
and
funny.
you're like you're showing something, like it says so and so is talking about this product and so is talking about this subject, and it's like, well, if you watch the video, you're gonna know exactly what they're talking about. Like I
Right.
don't understand.
I don't know if like maybe it's
Like
because people want to see what it's like this is such a fast medium and it's so quick. And we have learned to not have to have any sort of patience at all. Like, so I think they, you want to read, well, what is this one about? No, I don't want to see that. It's like, God, just sit for a second and listen, you know?
Yeah, it's insane how fast our attention span is going now.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, and I'm caught up in it myself, like sometimes like I don't even want to watch like Netflix or any of that. I just will watch the tube of you on my TV because it's just short. Either I can find like really rare things that are like an hour long or whatever, but a lot of times I just go down to the shorts and I'm just like click, 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 like watching. I love to watch like people doing their planners and how they set everything up, and there's lots of that. And that was sort of my first initial step into this whole world where I was going,
Yeah,
oh, look at the
yeah.
people writing about.
I
What is this? Rose from the Golden Girls.
family history. Oh,
Oops.
yeah. So I think that's one of the greatest gifts that. Am I frozen?
No.
Did I freeze? Oh, okay. No, I was
Uh,
gonna say that I think that's one of the greatest gifts that we can give to our children
oh, yeah, absolutely.
and our relatives.
I mean, the best thing my dad
Stories,
did was that he took lots and lots of photos. Oh my God. So many photos. Like, we don't even know what to do with them all. But any period of time, any special event, you can look it up and find it. And I have all the photos. I have all of them. And the funny thing is that you can see my dad like went through every kind of camera medium through the years. Like when he was young, he started out with just like good old fashioned cameras, and then he got into Instamatic ones. Then he went through a slide phase where he just did slides, and that was when I was born and when I was little. So I have to dig out the carousel and put it in there and look at all the slides, and I haven't really looked through all of them, but yeah, there's like teeny one, and so I have to like project it, and I've got to I'd like to take those slides and just have them print them up or whatever. But it's just kind of funny how that was the phase my dad went through when I was born. And then he went through a phase in the 1970s when he used those pictures that would then, you'd look at it and it would develop itself. But that film turned out to be bad, and it's like anyone who took pictures with that kind of camera in the 70s, all of their memories are just turning green and fading into nothing. So it's like if you have a family member who did that, go get those pictures and scan them quick so that you don't lose the image. And it's kind of unfortunate, but that was what that was. And
The
you
photo
froze.
restoration, like the photo restoration. I'm frozen.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
I'd love to
goodness.
do
Let's
that.
see. Let me.
It's like I
The
could just
photo
picture you having to
restoration
climb
is
up in
one of
it.
the things that.
I know photo restoration is fun. I used to do that myself, and I love to do the different techniques. But you know what? Now with AI, like you just say, restore this photograph. I can't even believe how well it does it. But it's like, I don't like to use AI that much. But if you had to restore a photograph, sometimes it does an
Yeah,
amazing.
for photos and for images like that. I don't like using AI. I feel like it's kind of like cheating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was doing it because I was just curious to see how well it would do it. And there were a couple photos that were like, oh my God. Like it was like this old family photo of my mom with her family. And it was almost a little too much because like it went in and you could see my mom's pores on her face, from like a 1940s photograph. And I just thought that was really strange, like those details that it, you know, computer wise put back into the picture, and I was like, my mom didn't have that kind of skin. It's like, it was really interesting. But yeah, so I always did like to do my own photo restoration, and I have done it. And sometimes, like, I would be on Facebook of the Book of Faces and I would see someone put an old photo of their family or something on there. And it was kind of blur or it was kind of like yellowed and the color was fading. And it's like I couldn't help myself. And so I would download the picture and I would just simply fix it in the photo app on my phone and bring it just back to life, like they didn't realize that that's all they needed to do. And so then I would send it to them and they'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe, thank you so much,
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes. I'm trying to figure out a spot where I'm now. Oh my goodness. This internet is so bad.
Oh, there you are. Wherever you are right now, it's working. Or at least we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
It's like I'm picturing you having to
bad
climb
out
up
here.
in a tree or something.
Right? It's like, oh. Yeah, I don't know why the internet is so bad where I live. It's insane. It's crazy to me.
Okay, well, it's good now. I mean, it's kind of...
a little better?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'll sit here next to the mailbox then.
Oh, brother.
If I got service, I'm just going to sit right here. Yeah, no, I honestly would have loved that my family into like photography and picture taking and stuff like that. They don't record nothing. Like, I feel like there's a lot of missed history from my parents, and I'm like the only one that will record those events. Like, we'll take the pictures and we'll keep the memories and journal about the stuff that happened, or journal about, the different events that we were going through during that time. And it's crazy to me because I feel like I'm alone, even in my own family, with what I do, with the journaling, the watercoloring, just being artsy and being the person that I am today. Yeah.
Thankfully, my dad took tons of pictures, so I have those, and my grandparents too. So I have all those, but I have just tons of photo albums down in my studio of all that stuff, and in some cases I haven't even gone through all of them. I know I haven't gone through all the photographs, because I mean we're talking. I have a book cabinet that is literally stacked with those little packets of pictures that you would get back from the drugstore or the camera shop. Just tons of them. Fortunately, my dad, thank God, had the fortitude to write down what the event was on the box. So at least I know what it's from,
Organization, right?
Yeah. And I kind of feel like I am now the person who needs to, when I'm going to be passing these photos off to another family member who could very well be like my great nephew someday or whoever, it's like I have to get them in, at least get it in so that like my great uncle Andrew isn't going to just be lost to time and he's just going to end up being this photograph of this guy, whoever the heck he is, like I got to make sure
about it like that.
I know I have to make sure that it's all been documented,
Yeah, I know.
And like
that's what I'm saying. My sister doesn't journal. My sister doesn't pictures. Sister doesn't even have kids. I'm the only one that has kids, and it's just me and her. So I feel like once everybody's gone, that's it. It just, and my kids are the only ones who are going to take that legacy on and move forward with it. But none of my family just ever recorded anything.
I know, like I go to like antique stores or whatever salvage places, and you'll see like a box with tons of family photos just dumped in there. And I'm always like, this is so sad to me. Like, who are these people and what happened? And it's like, probably the last person died, and then they went then and then they
Yeah.
didn't even have any relative. They were the last one. And so then whoever cleaned up their house or they just donated it all. And that's where they all ended up. And I love to like
Yeah. And
find
it's
like photos
sad.
from I love to find photos from like the 1900s and stuff. And we have some that we've actually framed. We have a wall of pictures of all these men, like, and a lot of them are pictures of gay men and couples and stuff from different
So
eras.
cool.
And I love to take these
It's like a
pictures.
museum though, what you guys have. That's so cool
Yeah,
though, because it's kind of telling a story of times where that was probably shunned and that was probably something that people got killed for, you know. Oops, I said the
yeah,
world. They it, it's one of those things where you have a piece of history that can show, like I said, not through words, but through like the essence, the capturing of the moment.
yeah, yeah. And I love to like find pictures of people that I think are interesting looking, like old night. Like I've got some photos from like I think like either the early 1900s or the late 1800s. And like there's this one girl, and she really looks like she's only about 14 years old, but she's dressed really adult like, and it's like, well, back then, that age, you were kind of considered
They
grown
were
up,
already married.
and
Yeah, they were already married.
and I'm just like, who is this woman and this girl, and like, who did she end up having who was her family, and how did this photo find its way to this like
That's
antique
where you
store in
make a solo
Wisconsin?
RPG of these people.
Yeah, exactly.
You make a story of them.
But I love to like take those pictures, and it's like I curated and pulled it out of a stack of photos, and now I have it, you know either I put it like up on my shelf, or I use it, I scan it and turn it into like a collage or whatever, and I have those kind of things,
That's
and I
so
love to
cool.
do that. It's like you're
Have
giving
you
the
ever tried
person
like
new
scanning
life.
it into Google to see what Google says who that person is?
Oh, I have done that before. Like maybe for some
Have you
reason
found people?
yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, I haven't found anyone that way. Actually, I haven't even really thought about doing that, because these are just like random and old photos, and so many of them are like photos from a wedding or photos from that someone sat down and had their portrait taken. And a lot of my family photos, at least on my mom's side, all the photos are where they sat down and had a family photo, so they're all dressed in their nice clothes. And I'm just like, oh man, I would love to see a photograph of my grandpa coming home from school and walking in the door.
Right,
Like,
right,
what
right.
what was he wearing? What did he look like? And the closest thing I have to that is my grandma on my dad's side was having a portrait done with my dad's little sister. So it was like this beautiful picture. My grandma was all dressed up, and my Aunt Marlene was like all dressed up in her little girl clothes and ribbons and everything. But then my dad came home from school, and he was like maybe 8 or 9 years old, and he wanted to be in the photo too. So there's one of the photos is my dad's in the picture too, but he's wearing his school clothes, and it was like an overalls it was kind of like a shirt with an overalls top, and I just thought that's so cool. I always want to see what it was like when they weren't specifically dressing up for the
That's best you
photo.
take that picture and create them into a cartoon character.
Yeah,
Like a
exactly.
little Dennis the Menace type version.
Yeah, that's exactly what he looked
Make
like.
it
Dennis the
into
Menace.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what
and
he
you
looked
turn it
like. He looked
into
like,
you turn it into a story.
yeah, yeah, it's fun. That would be a really good journal thing to do. Like find one of my photographs, of people I don't know, and make up his story, you know?
Yeah. And then you know what's so cool is that you can make that story and turn it into a movie just because
Yeah.
it's like you give this in a second life in a sense. It's like that to me is where creativity has no limits. And that's why I say art journaling, just being creative. There's no rules, no limits. You do what you want, and you don't have to worry about people judging you. Oh, you're crazy. Well, the crazy person is the person who doesn't dive into their creativity. It's
Yeah,
those
exactly.
people who take that challenge and take that risk and turn it into something. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I have like this story that I made up that I wrote it in, at least initially I wrote it in the form of like a screenplay just because I thought it'd be fun to learn how to do that. And I was going along with it, and then I wanted to like picture the characters even more. So what I did in my head was I cast it with like well-known actors and stuff. And so with that, then now with that image in my mind of that actor, I could flesh it out even more, you know? And that was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
But I'm still working on it. I have no idea what it's ever going to turn into. I was thinking, and then when we were talking about that sort of journaling thing where I was thinking, well, I should spend time with one of the characters and write their journal entries, and like if they had kept a journal, what would they be writing about during the story, just to sort of help you flesh everything out. There's just so many techniques and things you can do. Like this whole little thing that we have going for us with the writing things down with a pen and paper. It's so powerful. It's ridiculous,
That's the magic wand.
I know, it truly is.
The magic wand. That's what creates. That's what manifests. That's what literally allows you to vision and create a whole world that is meant just for you.
Yeah, and even if you're doing like creative visualization and like affirmation work, so many times I've looked through my old journals and I'm like, oh my God, like I literally drew the apartment that I'm now living in,
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I'm telling you, it's powerful. I remember when I was studying to be a massage therapist, one of my teachers was very unique, and she had us write a manifestation list. And she was like, I want you to write the top 20 things that you want in life. And I was like, buy a home, get a Pomeranian, buy a brand new car, like a brand new car off the lot, not like a used one. And so looking back, that list, I have it in Puerto Rico. Looking back at that journal, I had checked off so many things and I didn't even know it till I found it. And I was like, whoa, because it's from college. So we're talking about 20 years ago. I sat down and I wrote all these things that I wanted in life, and I wanted a business, and it was just insane the amount of different things that I had written down and had come true. Yeah. And that's why I say that's the magic wand. Your pen is your magic wand. It's the Harry Potter of wands.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I always nerd out on the fact that like, okay, so you're thinking a thought, it goes down into your hand and you write it down. And as you're writing it, you're reading what you're writing. And so now you're just suddenly...
You hear it in your head. You hear the voice in your head, though.
Yeah, you're creating this like electric loop that you just spin with, and it's like, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm totally nerd out on that sometimes. Sometimes I'll be talking to someone about that, and I'm just like, it's like I'm going, oh my God, this is so crazy, and they're just like, what are you talking about? You're just writing it down. It's like, no, you have no idea. You have no idea. But I've always done that. I've always taken simple things, and there's times when I'm driving my car and I think to myself, oh my God, I'm in this machine and I get to drive it. And I get to turn it, and I get to go. It'll take me wherever I want to go. And it's like, that is it's like a miracle, you think about, I could be over at this store in 10 minutes, I mean, it's just I like to take the simple
little things in life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely and I used to think to myself, I used to explain creative visualization and affirmation as it's as simple as I want an apple, so I go up to the refrigerator and boom, I made my apple. I made that happen just from a thought. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
that can apply
Yeah.
to everything, but it might not be as simple as going up to the refrigerator and getting an apple. But you can map it out and you can figure out what are all the steps that need to be done.
That's what I tell my son all the time. You want something, map it out in your journal. And I promise you that as long as you map it out in your journal and you start checking off those steps, you're going to get to what you want, which is
Yeah.
crazy. We're talking about manifestation. I was in Puerto Rico on one of my last tours. Like, this was like a year ago, maybe. And my youngest son, who was 10 at the time, he said, Mom, what if I found a horseshoe? And I was like, he's like, if I found a horseshoe, I would make a wish. And I was like, oh, that's good. I'm like, that's awesome. Well, in one of our stops, we're crossing the street, and out in Puerto Rico, riding horses is normal. Like in public and streets, it's like your everyday thing. This horse is galloping, and the horseshoe flew off and landed in front of my child. And he was like, Mom, my horseshoe, my horseshoe. And he was like running across the street. I'm like, wait, because I didn't know if the cars were coming or what. And he was like, my horseshoe, I made my horseshoe come true. I made a wish. And I was like, oh my God. And he's screaming this at the top of his lungs. People are looking at him like, what is going on? I'm just like, don't worry about it. He manifested in real time. Like literally, it was the craziest thing that I had ever seen. I was like, dang.
Yeah, but when those things happen, like I almost remember every single time anything like that ever happened. I remember being at a dime store when I was a kid and I wanted something and I didn't have enough money and it was like around $5 and I walked outside and down the sidewalk was a $5 bill blowing in the breeze towards me. Like literally this $5 bill found me. You know, and I like picked it up and I'm like, and I looked around, nobody was chasing it. There was no, it just happened to be this random $5 bill. I went in and I got to get the thing I wanted to get, you know?
The universe.
There was another time where like I needed like a really big chunk, big sized amount of money. And that day I got like my grandparents had like sent out an early inheritance to their grandchildren. And it was pretty much almost to the penny the amount of money that I needed. And I was just like, wow. Oh my God. And I had no idea this was coming. No one had told me. This was something that they did on their own without even telling like my dad or my family. And I just thought that was so crazy.
That's the power of manifestation. That's
and there was another time where
if
like
we go into
I wanted
all of
to
that,
be
it's a whole other show.
Oh, I know. The one of the craziest ones was there was a director in town in a music theater, a musical director that I loved, and I loved their work, and I knew them. They were, you know, one was a friend of mine, one was an acquaintance. And I said to Jason, we're sitting there watching one of their shows that he had written and that she was directing. And I said, why, you know, I hate having to audition. Why don't they just cast me in something? And like, less than a year later, I got a phone call and it was like, you know, Rachel Rockwell is interested in you for The Music Man. And I thought they meant that they wanted me to come audition. And at that time, I had just gotten a full-time job as a designer, like a graphic designer. And I was like, well, that sucks. You know, now I get this other job and now they're asking me to come audition. Well, anyway, I called them up. And the person who was the producer or whatever of the play said, I go, well, when's the audition? And she said, oh, no, they just want you in the show. So they literally just cast me in the show. And then I said, well, who's music directing? They're like, Michael Mahler. And I'm like, oh my God, that was my friend. So it literally happened. So if you have like a desire or a want, just like say it or write it down because you never know. It's not all going to happen, but you may find some of those little random ones actually will happen. And it's pretty cool, you know? I mean, it's just all part of it. Our brains can do that.
Putting it out to the universe and allowing it to wait. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We take for granted the what our brains can do and that we think it's all just contained in here. But you just like, we're
Yeah.
connected to all this stuff, that's going on all the time, you know? And we're
Yep.
interconnected with
Yep.
each other too. How many times have you thought of a person and
Oh
the phone
yeah.
rang and it was them,
Yeah. All the time.
This has been such a great conversation. I mean, we have discussed everything, like the path. I'm going to definitely be putting this one up on the Tube of You because there's just so many interesting things that it's just so great talking to you. Oh my God, the ideas and thoughts bouncing back and forth. It's just a joy.
Love it.
It's so much
I
fun.
love you guys so much. I love you guys so much. For me, it's the little pleasures in life to be able to watch you guys, listen to the conversations, be a part of it, and the enjoyment of being able to connect in ways that sometimes I feel like I'm alone and I'm not. It's just a matter of connecting with
Right.
the right people.
Yep. But a lot of times, if I'm just sitting in my art studio, I go, "Oh, I wonder if anyone's on live, or if someone's doing something." I'll look in, and Melissa is working on one of her spreads in her junk journal. So I just have her on, and then she'll see, "Oh, hey, Rob, how's it going?" And just with her just doing her thing, and it's just nice to have that energy because I love being in a room with people or even just online, like when we're all working on something together. It's like shadowing each
Yeah.
other, and it's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's just such a
Yes, I
so
love that.
gratifying. Yeah, me too. Me too. What was the thing? Encouraging.
And it doesn't have to be physical. It's virtual.
I'm
Oh,
looking at
did I
the
freeze up again?
comments a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, a little laggy.
Oh, what was the
I
thing I
can't
spent my
believe that my
$5
internet went
on?
out right when.
Leanne is asking me what the thing was that I spent $5 on. I literally can't
Yeah.
remember. I was so little. I was like maybe like a 10-year-old. What was the thing?
Aw, little
It probably
Robbie.
was
He's
like a
like,
color
hey,
form set.
$5.
It was probably like one of those color form sets
And you know
where
what?
you
$5.
could. Well, back when I was 10 years old, it was
$5 in those
19.
times were like.
Yeah, it was 1971. So finding $5 was like, whoa, I'm rich. I'm rich.
Like $100.
Yeah, exactly. I should ask.
Yeah, it's like $100
What
for a little
is.
kid.
Yeah, let me just see if Siri can answer me. Hey, Siri.
Uh-huh.
What is $5 in 1971 money?
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask.
Oh, I
me from
hate
your
when
iPhone.
Siri's lazy. She's basically saying, "Oh, I can find that on your phone for you." It's like, I could find it on the phone for me. Jesus. Just tell me. Just tell me. Well, what have you got going for you today? What's going on?
So today I am finalizing the design for the Marsh sticker release book that I created.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this a little bit.
Yes.
Now, what is the Marsh?
Marsh's evolution so much.
And where are we going to be able to find this book?
So right now I'm doing inbox orders because I'm trying to figure out if I want to put up a website because it costs money to like actually have a website and stuff. Or I could go the smart route and kind of integrate a little folder into the website I already have just to have somewhere just to start. And then right now it's all through inbox, but I'm
Well, if
I'm
you're going to be
making
announcing it like,
very, very slow.
but it'll be in your posts and stuff on TikTok and stuff that you do, so we'll be able to find it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
good.
have
So
to
we'll
show
just
the
keep.
washi. I'm almost sold out of the washi tape. I don't even get to.
That's great.
I'm almost sold out. I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
so
so
it's
cool.
fun and it's exciting. Well, thank you. It honestly, it's something that makes me happy. Like I'm happy to create. And it's
Yeah,
I
and
feel
then
like you understand me because you get excited.
oh, absolutely. And if you're doing it and you're happy when you're doing it, well, it's just like let's go buy some positive energy from Jess, right? Like it's like you're not just getting stickers, you're getting like their joy of doing it and sharing it with people. That's
Yeah,
what's great
that's why
about it.
when I was like I was like on it all because I know that like, he took the time to like create all of it and it's joy because I know the process of creating. It's like it's joyful. It's like you're in the moment doing this under like happiness and positivity. So it's like I want that. I want to be a part of that. I want to be able to look at those stickers and say, that's my friend. How cool is that? Like showcasing what other people do. I absolutely love it. To me,
Oh, I
that
know. Like
means
when
more than
I always ask
anything you could ever.
people, yes. I always ask people like if you buy my stuff, oh please let me see what you do with it. Like I would love to see what they do with those bungalow stickers or whatever. That's what is so much fun to see. And it looks like we're almost done. Oh my God, this has been so much
Bungalows,
fun. We have a little trouble with the internet connection, but
bungalow
we
stickers take
we
me back
worked
to my
through it.
childhood.
Yeah. It's been great. And
Yeah,
so we're at 12:30.
try,
Thank you
guys.
so much, Jess. Go check her stuff out. Keep looking at her posts.
Thank you, Rob.
Follow her if you're not following her. And go check out, I'm doing my 65 to 65. So go and look at the link in my bio. And it's been great. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah.
All right. So we will see you
Bye,
tomorrow.
guys.
Bye-bye.